Good morning to all of you. Now in today's video lecture, we are going to take the next point from the current chapter, that is aliphatic hydrocarbons. We are going to study these alkanes. Before starting the today's point, in the last lecture we discussed the one simple point from this chapter, that is nothing but the classes of carbons and hydrogen atoms. Now in that we study the simple classification of carbons and hydrogens. Now next to that, in the today's video lecture, we have studied the one simple concept from the chapter. One simple point is there, that is called as the physical properties of alkanes. So we are going to study some properties of these alkanes, and that is nothing but the physical properties of these alkanes. Now what are that properties? So that properties we have to study one by one. So the first simple property of this alkane is called as the state of alkanes. This is a state of alkanes. Now, in which states commonly these alkanes can be occur in the nature? So that we have to study in these first physical properties of alkanes. So if we take the initial examples of these alkanes, means the alkanes containing carbon number 1 to carbon number 4. If we consider the first 4 examples of these alkanes, means carbon number 1 to the carbon number 4, these 4 alkanes is there, they occur commonly as a colorless gases. They occur as a colorless gases. So this gas state is there for first initial 4 alkanes. Next alkanes from C5 to C17, means alkanes contains carbon number 5 to carbon number 17. That alkanes commonly occur as a colorless liquids. That alkanes occur as a colorless liquids. So this is a second state of alkanes. And next alkanes means the alkanes from carbon number 18 onwards. Carbon number 18 onwards. So number of alkanes is there from carbon number 18 onwards. So that alkanes commonly occur as colorless solids. That occurs as a colorless solids. So these are the 3 states in which these alkanes can be occur commonly in the nature. First, from carbon number 1 to the carbon number 4, these are the initial examples of these alkanes. That alkanes commonly occur as a colorless gases. The second state is there from carbon number 5 to carbon number 17. All alkanes commonly occur as colorless liquids. And the last third stage is there, in which the alkanes containing carbon atom from 18 onwards, all these alkanes occur as a colorless solids. So this is the first simple physical property of alkanes called as the state of alkanes. Now, second simple physical property of these alkanes we are going to study is nothing but the melting point and boiling point of alkanes. Melting point and boiling point of these alkanes. This is the next simple physical properties of these alkanes. Now we know very well what is my melting point and boiling point. So each and every alkane has a fixed value of this melting point as well as boiling point. Now what is the effect of structure of these alkanes on these 2 values, melting point and boiling point? For this purpose we have to conclude one simple statement is there. If number of carbon atoms going on increasing, if number of carbon atoms going on increasing in a particular alkane, that what happens? Its melting point and boiling point gradually going on increasing. Means number of carbon atoms are more, its effect is that its melting point and boiling point increases. For this purpose, if I take the simple example of alkane, if I take here CH3, CH2, CH2, CH2 single bond, CH3. This is a example of alkane called as N-pentane. This is a N-pentane is there. So if I take N-pentane, this is the first example. Nextly, if I take the another alkane, for example, if I take here CH3, single bond CH2, again CH2, single bond CH2, single bond CH2 and single bond CH3. So how many carbon is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. That's why it is called as the N-hexane. This is the N-hexane is there. So first example is N-pentane, second is called as the N-hexane. Now we are interested in comparing what is the difference between the melting point and boiling point of these two alkanes. Means what is the melting point, boiling point of this N-pentane and what is for that N-hexane. So one point is there. If we compare the molecular formula of N-pentane to that of the N-hexane, what difference is there? The difference is of one carbon and two hydrogens. That's how we can say that as compared to N-pentane, N-hexane has the one more carbon atom. And that's why, as we stated before, that as the number of carbon atoms going on increasing in a particular alkane, the melting point as well as boiling point going on increasing. And that's why if we consider the boiling point of this first compound, that is called N-pentane, it is a 36 degree centigrade, while for this N-hexane, its boiling point is a 69 degree centigrade. So from these two boiling point values, we can conclude that as the number of carbon atoms going on increasing in a particular alkane, its melting point, boiling point value going on increasing. So this is a simple physical properties of these alkanes. Nextly, we have to add to the same point, if we change the structure of alkanes, for example, if we take some simple examples of these alkanes, if I take now simple examples of alkanes, for example, if I take here CH3, single bond CH2, single bond CH2, single bond CH3. So what is the name of this compound? So this compound is called as the N-butane. And the another example is there, CH3, this is a CH, single bond CH3, single bond CH3. What is the name of this compound? This is called as the isobutane. So this is the N-butane is there, this is a isobutane is there. These two compounds are called as the isomers of each other. Means they have the same molecular formula but they get different in a structural formula. That's why this is called as the isomers of each other. So if we compare now boiling point and melting point of these two isomeric compounds, then what happens? Now this first compound is there, N-butane. N-butane has the straight chain structure. It has the straight chain structure, while the second compound has a spherical structure. This is a spherical structure, this is a straight chain structure is there. Now what is the effect of straight chain structure as well as spherical structure on a value of melting point and boiling point? That we have to check now. Now if we look toward this N-butane has the straight chain structure, that's why the surface area is more. The surface area is more for this N-butane, while for second compound the surface area is less. N-butane has a more surface area as compared to isobutane. Why this is so? Because this N-butane is a straight chain structure, while this isobutane is a branched structure, and that's why it tends to become a spherical, and due to this spherical nature its surface area is a lower or less. Now what is the effect of surface area? What is the effect of surface area? So we know very well that if the surface area is a more, for given alkanes, then the magnitude for intermolecular force of attraction, is more for that given alkane, and that's why that molecule may form the bonding with the another molecules, and that's why it become a stronger in its strength, or its structure becomes stronger, and that's why its melting point and boiling point value going on increasing. On the other hand, if your structure is a spherical or if your structure is a branched structure, then its surface area is a less, and due to less surface area, the strength or the magnitude of intermolecular force of attraction are less, and that's why its melting point, boiling point values are lower. So this is a simple case for branched structure and straight line structure for given alkanes. Now what is the value for boiling point for these two compounds? So if we compare for this N-butane, its boiling point is equal to 0 degree centigrade. Its boiling point is a 0 degree centigrade. While for this isobutane, its boiling point is a minus 12 degree centigrade. So from these two magnitude of this boiling point, we conclude that the straight chain compounds has the more boiling point and melting point as compared to branched chain compound. Okay, so this is a simple physical property of alkanes called as the melting point and boiling point. In that melting point and boiling point, we have to consider the two important cases. One case is that in alkanes, if number of carbon atoms going on increasing, it affects the value of melting point and boiling point, means it get increased with increase in the number of the carbon atoms. And the second simple point is there, if we take into consideration the structure of alkanes, whether that structure is a straight line structure or whether that structure is a spherical structure. So straight chain alkanes always have the high magnitude of melting point and boiling point as compared to spherical alkanes or branched chain alkanes. So this is a second simple property called as the melting point and boiling point of alkanes. The next important property for these alkanes that we have to study now, that property number third is known as solubility. This solubility is there. This is the next important property for this alkanes, solubility. Now we know very well that what is meant by solubility. So solubility is nothing but we know that this is a phenomena in which the given solute, when dissolved in a particular solvent, that form of one solution. So that particular simple process is called as the solubility. Now in that solubility, we have to check now in which solvent these alkanes can be dissolved. So that solvent we have to check. Before that we have to check what is the nature of all these alkanes. What is the nature of all these alkanes? We know very well that these alkanes are made up from the combination of carbons and hydrogens. So by combining carbons and hydrogens, we can form any alkanes. That's why, what is the nature for these alkanes? These alkanes are called as the non-polar molecule. These alkanes are called as the non-polar molecule. Now what is by non-polar? These are called as a non-polar molecule. Now what is by non-polar? Non-polar means the polarity is absent in this alkane molecule. That's why these molecules are called as the non-polar molecule. Now we are interested to find out what are the suitable solvents to soluble or to dissolve this type of the alkanes. We are interested in that fact. That's why we have to check now which solvents are important for dissolving these particular alkanes. As we state that these alkanes are called as the non-polar molecule. Now what type of solvent we have to take now? So keep in your mind one simple rule. What is that rule? Like dissolves like. Like dissolves like. This is the one simple rule is there for solubility. Like dissolves like means what? What is the nature of your molecule? What is the nature of your molecule? The same type of solvent you have to take for solubility. As we know that the nature of these alkanes are non-polar. The nature of these alkanes is a non-polar. That's why you have to compulsory take here non-polar solvent. We have to take here non-polar solvent for solubility. Means all alkanes get soluble in non-polar solvent. Now, what are the non-polar solvent? Which solvents is, or what are the examples of non-polar solvent? So we know that non-polar solvents is nothing but the first here. Benzene is there. Benzene is a well-known example of non-polar solvent. Secondly, you may take here ether is there. You may take here chloroform is there. Chloroform. So these are some simple examples of non-polar solvent. So we can say that due to the non-polar nature of all these alkanes get soluble in non-polar solvent such as benzene, ether or chloroform. Or another examples of non-polar solvents is there. So this gets soluble in a non-polar solvent. While if I want to check the solubility of these alkanes in a water, if I take the water as a solvent, so we know that water is called as a polar solvent. Water is called as a polar solvent. So due to the polar nature of this water, these alkanes are insoluble in water. Water due to its polar nature cannot soluble this type of the alkanes. That's why alkanes get insoluble in a water, while these alkanes get soluble in a non-polar solvent like benzene, ether and chloroform. So this is a simple physical property for these alkanes called as the solubility. For this purpose, just remember one simple rule: like dissolves like. So these are the three basic important properties of these alkanes. First is called as the state of the alkanes, in which state these alkanes can be occur. Second simple property is there, melting point and boiling point of these alkanes. And the last simple property is called as the solubility of alkanes. So this is nothing but the simple point, physical properties of alkanes. With that, we conclude this lecture. Thank you.